Here are your Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, August 11th, 2025. EJ and Xander are at war over Salem University Hospital and are at war with the women in their lives. After a bad day in court, EJ made things even worse with his little stunt, exposing his relationship with Belle and asking for a mistrial. Now, Belle doesn't want to have anything to do with him. When Belle stops by the Dimera mansion, EJ thinks that he can pour on the charm and smooth things over. But Belle is just as furious as she was earlier. She is not there to make up with him. She is there to take him to task for how he humiliated her in court, when he is the one who should be even more humiliated. After Belle leaves, EJ looks like he is in rough shape and maybe even in a little pain. But Gwen heard the whole thing and can't wait to taunt EJ and get the whole scoop. Xander wasn't sure what to expect when he agreed to dinner at the bistro with Gabby Hernandez, but it wasn't what he got. He was shocked when Gabby suddenly pulled him in for a kiss, but even more shocked by Sarah's reaction. She decided to kiss Brady right in front of him, which leaves Xander furious. When Gabby sees Xander's reaction to everything, she is also furious and takes him to task, outside in Horton Town Square. Maybe Xander needs to get over his ex and allow her to live her life any way she wants. Gabby is also on a mission for Tony, but Xander doesn't know that. All he knows is that things are about to get even worse. After apologizing to Brady for her big, impulsive mood, Sarah confronts Xander, and the two estranged spouses have it out. It's clear that there is unfinished business between them, but neither one wants to admit it. Is there any way for them to find their way back to one another? Or should they head straight to divorce court now? Here's your Days of Our Lives spoiler sneak peek video for the week of August 11th, 2025. Johnny's trial really heats up this week when Rachel takes the stand and has to tell the jury what she saw the night EJ was shot. She is terrified as she recalls spying Johnny, aiming a gun right at his father. Rachel loves Johnny and fears she might be the reason that he ends up in prison. EJ also doesn't have a very good week. First, his stunt in court when he asked for a mistrial has Belle furious. She tells him that she never wants anything to do with him ever again, once the trial is over. Johnny is also unhappy with EJ's defense and fires him. What does EJ do to anger Johnny? Does it have anything to do with that memory stick implicating Chanel? After getting an eyeful of Xander kissing Gabby at the bistro, Sarah is still trying to recover from the image. She felt turnabout was fair play, so she pulled in Brady for a kiss, but that didn't work out quite as she planned, if he was planning anything at all. When Sarah runs into Gwen in Horton Town Square, they begin arguing about Xander. Gwen assures Sarah that Xander has moved on with her. Will Sarah mention that Gwyn might have some competition on her hands in the form of a very amorous Gabby Hernandez? Sophia thought she could just give up her baby and move on with her life, but she's now learning it's not as easy as she thinks. First, having a baby is a big deal, but lying about what happened after is an even bigger deal. Sophia tells Ari that things are not turning out the way that she thought they would, especially when she sees Tate and Holly in the square sharing a close moment. Will Ari have any good advice for her friend? Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that we have to ask, was Belle Black right to break up with EJ Dimera over his betrayal? Was this a necessary split or a major overreaction? In DOOL's August 8th episode, EJ's latest move in the courtroom backfired spectacularly. The judge saw through EJ's theatrics and refused to grant a mistrial based on his personal relationship with Belle. Since Belle was blindsided over EJ getting Johnny Dimera to expose that on the stand, she broke up with him on the spot. It was a wake-up call about the kind of person EJ was, so Belle decided she'd never forgive him for this. In fact, Belle went as far as declaring that EJ was dead to her. It's clear that Belle's done with EJ, so she wishes she'd listened when Marlena Evans tried to warn her away from him. Of course, many fans can see why Belle would feel rather humiliated over how it all went down. To make matters worse, Belle and EJ just had a sizzling session at the Salem Inn, so Belle had to be feeling pretty used when their romance was outed in court. EJ should have given Belle a heads up on his plans, or better yet, he should have avoided that pointless tactic altogether. At the same time, Day's spoilers suggest Belle may be overreacting a bit under the circumstances. Considering all the crimes and other horrible things EJ's done over the years, This feels like a pretty lackluster reason to break up. Plus, Belle has to know that EJ is doing everything he can to keep Johnny out of prison. We have to believe that if Claire Brady were in Johnny's shoes, Belle would be willing to pull a few dirty tricks too. Maybe Belle should cut EJ a little slack under the circumstances, since this all boils down to a parent's love for his child. EJ didn't set out to hurt Belle and only pushed for the mistrial for Johnny's sake. However, Belle and EJ arguably weren't exactly an amazing days couple anyway. Perhaps it's for the best that EJ and Belle broke up, even if the reason why seems rather silly. Days of Our Lives spoilers say Belle and EJ have more fierce moments ahead in court, so we'll bring you updates on any other legal news along the way. There are key testimonies, turmoil, breakups, and a big surprise on Days of Our Lives. Key witnesses take the stand in the case against Johnny, causing major turmoil in the courtroom and an impromptu decision by the man on trial, according to the Days of Our Lives spoilers. Plus, one couple looks dead and buried, while another happily moves forward, and an ex-lover moves in on the suddenly free man who got away. Here's your day's video preview for the week of August 11th to 15th, 2025. Another witness takes the stand in the case against Johnny DiMera. This time it's his cousin, Rachel. Belle questions the girl about what she saw the night someone tried to kill EJ. "What happened next, Rachel?" she asks. Later, a distraught Rachel agonizes over her experience in court. "What if Johnny goes to prison because of me?" wails Rachel, who's at the pub with her mother, Kristen. Later, Belle shows up at the DiMera mansion, much to EJ's surprise, considering the way they left things after they were reprimanded by Judge Dabney. "In the courtroom, you said I was dead to you," recounts EJ. Days of Our Lives spoilers reveal that Susan Banks keeps sensing Stefano DiMera. While the woman claims she can now speak to the dead, it's likely not Stefano she's sensing. Could it be someone else who is close to the DiMera family, though? Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the Peacock soap opera. Let's start off with Susan, who suddenly returned to Salem. Chanel Dupree DiMera hoped she would help solve the case of who really shot EJ DiMera. Instead, Susan wasn't much help at all, besides running around town accusing Gabby Hernandez. Then, Susan claimed that she now sees dead people. So far, no words or messages from Stefano, though. It seems that Johnny DiMera is relying more on his father's legal representation rather than on Susan's magical powers. Over with Marlena Evans. She's been having a tough time since John Black's death. The psychiatrist has been collapsing in public and seems to take a lot of naps. She's also not eating as much as usual, but Sarah Horton Kyriakis said that everything was normal. Marlena's dreams about being the Queen of Night. However, that storyline featured Stefano. Clearly, Mascolo cannot come back as he passed away. At one time, the soap said they wouldn't recast the character, and I hope they stay true to their word. Remember, Susan also said that there was a sickness in Marlena's body, mind, and soul. That could just be grief, though. What are the chances that it isn't Stefano that Susan is sensing, but someone else? At one point, I thought Janelle might be pregnant, but now I have a different theory. What if the reason why Susan is getting a feeling from Stefano's portrait is because someone is hiding behind it? Like in the DiMera tunnels? There are so many secret rooms that someone could hide in there for months without being noticed. In fact, I think it's happened a few times already. All joking aside, it's very possible that Stefan DiMera could be lurking nearby. Tony DiMera and EJ both mentioned him recently. Fans know that Vivian Alamain just couldn't stand for Stefan and Gabby to reunite. So, she had Stefan kidnapped and left behind signed divorce papers for Gabby. He's been name-dropped several times now. So, could Susan be sensing Stefan? But has he changed? It would be just like Vivian to brainwash Stefan into doing her bidding. So stay tuned. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, August 11th. Hint that someone will get a slap on the wrist while two characters bond, and there are some very bad explosions on the horizon. What's set to go down on Monday? Time to find out. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Monday, August 11th suggest that Gabby Hernandez will reprimand Xander Kyriakis. So is this about their kiss, or the aftermath of the chaos that came because of their lip lock? Speaking of, Sarah Horton Kyriakis will also apologize to Brady Black. So is this about her reaching for a kiss, or Xander's reaction to it all? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Across town, Chad&Ej will tend to Kat Green, as the young woman hasn't been feeling well. It sounds like the two will bond in the process, but how steamy could things get between them? In other news, Marlena Evans will get a new client. In light of Xander's recent outburst, will he finally visit the therapist to get some help on his anger issues? From the looks of it, he needs some assistance on how to keep his temper in check. Lastly, Days of Our Lives. Spoilers for Monday reveal that things will get heated between Belle Black and EJ, but not in a good kind of way. Added teasers imply that Belle will lash out at EJ for his latest stunt, and as he announced there was a conflict of interest because of their romance in the middle of their court case, she'll be furious. With that said, how many times will EJ pull these types of moves, and how many times will Belle forgive him? She may finally have reached her peak, but only time will tell. In the upcoming Peacock soap opera Days of Our Lives episode, airing on August 11th, 2025, fans can look forward to plenty of heated arguments, sincere apologies, and messy relationships. With tensions carrying over from last week, the people of Salem will face uncomfortable moments, surprising revelations, and strong emotions. From Belle angrily confronting EJ after he embarrassed her in court, to Gabby telling Xander off, and Sarah giving Brady an unexpected apology, the drama is running high. At the same time, Marlena welcomes a new patient, and Chad once again offers his support to Kat, showing that even in Salem's drama-filled world, there are still moments of kindness and care. Belle's bad day worsens after EJ pulls a shocking move in court. She thought their relationship was heading in a good direction, but EJ ruined it by revealing during the trial that they had been romantically involved, calling it a conflict of interest. The timing, right after they had been together in private, hurt the betrayal even more. Belle's angry reaction will make it clear exactly how she feels, setting up a big and emotional showdown. Gabby on Days of Our Lives doesn't wait to confront Xander after his scene at the bistro. His reaction to seeing Sarah and Brady kiss was out of line, and Gabby isn't going to ignore it. Her strong words might hurt Xander's pride, but they could also make him realize how his unresolved feelings for Sarah affect how he acts. Sarah's kiss with Brady on Friday wasn't just a sudden, careless act. It happened right in front of Xander and Gabby. Now that things have calmed down, she's starting to wonder if it was the right choice. It might sound genuine when she apologizes to Brady, but it makes one ask, is she really sorry or just uneasy because of what happened afterward? While most of Salem is caught up in romantic drama, Marlena is making time for a new patient. With how Xander has been acting lately, he seems like a likely person to need anger management therapy, but no one knows yet who her new client really is. Whoever it turns out to be, Marlena's skills will be put to the test again with Salem's emotional residents. In a calmer story, Chad keeps supporting Kat when she's not feeling well. Whether he's helping her outside the elevator or just staying close, Chad shows again how much he cares and wants to protect her. But the question remains, does he really understand how serious Kat's problems are? Or will he need help from others soon? With all the court drama, relationship troubles, and surprising partnerships, tomorrow's episode has the right mix of excitement and emotion that Days of Our Lives fans enjoy. In the recent episode of the Peacock soap opera Days of Our Lives aired on August 8th, 2025, Chad took care of Kat and her sister Felicity when both came down with high fevers. A quick hospital trip turned into a sweet moment, ending with an unexpected kiss. Brady's dinner with Sarah changed course when they saw Gabby kissing Xander, sparking tense, spiteful gestures from both Sarah and Xander. In court, EJ's mistrial request failed, and Belle ended their relationship in front of everyone after the judge's harsh remarks. At the hospital in Days of Our Lives, Chad saw Kat bringing Felicity in with a fever and rash. Sarah said Felicity had strep throat and went to get a prescription. Chad stayed so Kat could take her home quickly. Later, at Kat's apartment, he noticed she was also sick. While he got medicine, she texted Rafe to cancel their meeting. When he returned and put a cool towel on her head, she mumbled about a secret. Moments later, she pulled him in for a kiss. Brady on Days of Our Lives mailed a package to Tate's baby's adoptive parents, hoping to get a chance to see the child. In the square, he met Sarah, who seemed surprised when he mentioned Chicago. It reminded her of Sophia lying about the baby's sex. Brady sensed something was wrong but didn't ask, instead invited her to dinner at the bistro. At the restaurant, Gabby was already flirting with Xander. Over wine, she praised him and asked about his failed marriage. Xander admitted he had deep regrets and still felt hurt by Sarah. Gabby told him to move on and sealed it with a kiss, just as Sarah and Brady walked in. Seeing Sarah shook Xander, but she said she and Brady would stay for dinner. Gabby brushed off his worries, noting Sarah was clearly with someone else. Her words seemed to push him, but he still kept watching Sarah hold Brady's hand. Finally, Xander walked over and accused Sarah of neglecting their daughter. Sarah fired back that Victoria was with the nanny and reminded him of their custody deal. Raising her voice, she said he could kiss anyone he wanted, and so could she. Then, to prove it, she kissed Brady, leaving Xander shocked. In court on Days of Our Lives, Belle strongly opposed EJ's request for a mistrial, calling it ridiculous. Judge Dabney agreed and pointed out that EJ also had a conflict of interest as both the victim and the defendant's father. Belle said their relationship wasn't the biggest problem in the case, but to remove the issue, she ended things with EJ in front of everyone. Frustrated, the judge sent the jury home and warned both lawyers not to waste more time. Outside, Belle told Marlena she would never forgive EJ. Johnny asked his father why he did it, and EJ said Belle was hurting his case. Later, Belle confronted him, accusing him of only caring about winning. She ended with, "We are done. You are dead to me, EJ DiMera."